everyone, this is Biophilia where you and me learn biology together. So before starting this session, do give this video a thumbs up, share it to your friends and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you do not miss out on any of the future videos. Welcoming you all to the amazing session on class 12 chapter Reproduction in Organisms. So without any more delay, let's start the chapter. The chapter starts as with the three stages of life, that is juvenile phase, also called as the pre-reproductive phase, but in plants we also refer it to as vegetative phase. Juvenile phase में organism shows growth to attain the maturity that is required in the reproductive phase. Second phase comes, that is the reproductive phase or the reproductive stage, wherein the major motto of the organism is to produce offsprings. The third and the final stage is the senescence, also called as the post-reproductive phase, wherein the structural and functional deterioration of the body of the organism ultimately leads it to death. Now we have to see major two topics, that is lifespan and life expectancy. तो अब हम देखेंगे फर्स्ट अबाउट लाइफ स्पैन. तो लाइफ स्पैन को डिफाइन करते हैं एज द पीरियड फ्रॉम बर्थ टू द नेचुरल डेथ ऑफ द ऑर्गेनिज्म. लाइफ स्पैन इज गोइंग टू बी द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक फॉर द स्पीशीज. अब लाइफ स्पैन डिसाइड करने के लिए it does not depend on what the size or the complexity of the organism is. अब ये पता करने के लिए let's see in the table number 1. Table 1 में you can see that the crow is having the lifespan of 15 years whereas the parrot is having the lifespan of 140 years. Now both are birds having approximately same size, but variation in the lifespan कितना है, बहुत ज़्यादा है. So you cannot ultimately think about how much would be the lifespan depending on what the size or the complexity of the organism is, right? So you have to remember this point, that it does not depend on size and the complexity. Second very important point is whatever organism takes birth on earth has to die some or the other day. That does not depend that if it is having a larger lifespan it is not going to die. So that we say whatever be the lifespan, no organism is immortal. But again here is an exception for single celled organisms. Moving on to the second concept, that is life expectancy. Life expectancy defined करते हैं as the average of various lifespans. Now when you are calculating average you need a large data, and when large data that means you need many organisms, and these organisms group is nothing but population. So life expectancy characteristic होता है for the population. अब life expectancy depends on what conditions is the population under. जैसे अगर Indian man की life expectancy अगर होती है that is 65 years, अमेरिकन मैन की देखें तो इट वुड बी 78 years, जापानीज के लिए it would be 81 years. Now all this depends upon how the conditions, the environmental factors actually are present around the population. Now let's move on with the reproduction topic on the next slide. Now in the reproduction we define it as the biological process in which the organism gives birth to the young ones. Now what is reproduction actually going to do? It is going to help in continuity of the species. For example, if the species or some organisms undergo predation, कि वहाँ पे किसी की मौत हो जाती है because of hunting or natural death, then the number should not decrease and undergo extinction. Therefore reproduction helps to continue the species on the earth. Now there are types of reproduction, that can be asexual reproduction or the sexual reproduction. So let's see them one by one. Now in the asexual reproduction, generally there is a mitotic or mitotic divisions occurring in the somatic cells, or somatic cells are nothing but the body cells. Asexual reproduction में जो daughter cells बनते हैं, they can have majorly two types, that is spore formation, which would be categorized as the specialized form, and the vegetative parts से अगर asexual reproduction हो तो then it is the non-specialized type. Now the rate of this asexual reproduction is going to be very fast because of the complexity is less. And when the reproduction is fast and organisms ज़्यादा rate से बढ़ेंगे, there would be lot of crowding occurring with this type. Now this type of asexual reproduction can be seen in type of fission, budding, fragmentation and vegetative propagation. Generally, vegetative propagation is highly seen in the case of higher plants, whereas the other can be seen in lower plants and animals. Asexual reproduction के advantages होते हैं, that is it can be taken by a single parent, that is uniparental होता है. Again, the daughter cells which are formed, they are going to be identical to the parent and to themselves. यानी अगर if you want to maintain whatever species you have, then asexual reproduction is going to help to maintain the characteristics as in the parent. Because of this reason that they are identical, they are also called as clones. And clones would be a group of identical organisms, but if you want to just signify one, then it would be called as ramate. अब disadvantages में problem आता है because of the absence of exchange of genetic material. अगर genetic material exchange नहीं होगा, then there could be leading of less recombination. When there is no or less recombination, there will be no linkage, no variation, no evolution. And when there is no evolution, the organism has least chances of adaptations. That means the organism's survival rate would decrease if the environmental conditions get adverse or get changed in the future. अब ये सब डिसएडवांटेजेस के लिए ओवरकम करने के लिए नेचर हैड वन मोर ऑप्शन, दैट वाज सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन. सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन में it is the fusion of haploid sex cells that can be male and female gametes. They come together, fuse and form the diploid zygote. Now when this thing is happening, first of all you need haploid cells, and these haploid gametes are formed by meiotic divisions, and the zygote which is formed after the fusion will be developed by the mitotic divisions. Now the sexual reproduction organisms that are forming their daughter cells or the young generation, they have a better adaptability. And after the adaptability, when they have a greater adaptability, they can change themselves according to the change in environment. But when this process is happening, the rate is going to be very slow because of the complexity that is involved in this type. Now this type of this reproduction is going to be seen in higher invertebrates, insects and all vertebrates. अब sexual reproduction का advantage जो होगा, that would be covered because of the disadvantages seen in the asexual reproduction. तो उसके लिए क्या होता है, sexual reproduction में exchange of genetic material होता है because there are two different sources from which the gametes are coming, and when they fuse there will be recombination leading to linkage, variation, evolution, and finally the organism have a better chance of adaptations. But again there is a disadvantage that the type is involving two parents, and when there are two parents they may create problems to find the two perfect choices. But again there is an exception in the case of hermaphrodite animals. For example, you can have Taenia solium. Taenia solium is nothing but the tapeworm which undergoes self-fertilization undergoing sexual reproduction. Moving with the next slide, having the different types of asexual reproduction. Now the types of asexual reproduction, the first we have is fission. A fission is going to be the most widely occurring type of asexual reproduction. फिजन जनरली प्रोटोजोअन्स और मेटाजोअन्स में मिलता है, and in this type of asexual reproduction the parent cell is going to divide itself either in two daughter cells or in more than two daughter cells. Okay, now again, depending upon how many daughter cells are formed, the fission can be divided as binary fission, और binary का meaning होता है 2, and multiple fission wherein that means the daughter cells will be more than 2. A binary fission में, as you know, 2 daughter cells are formed. Multiple fission में many daughter cells are formed. But in binary fission, the parent nucleus divides only once by mitosis क्योंकि उसको सिर्फ 2 daughter cells बनाने हैं. But when in the case of multiple fission, nucleus बार बार divide होगा by a mitosis producing many nuclei, and then each nuclei will be getting the cytoplasm, but this cytoplasm would be incompletely divided. But binary fission में क्या होगा, when there is going to be only once division, तो एक बार divide करते time cytoplasm is going to completely get divided equally. When there is equal division, you call it there will be no residue left. बट मल्टीपल फिजन में क्या हो रहा है, वो इतना जल्दी जल्दी न्यूक्लियर डिवाइड हो रहा है कि ऑल द आसपास का साइटोप्लाज्म न्यूक्लियस के पास आके फटाफट से एक सेल बना लेता है. बट इन द केस it is going to be the unequal division. Because of that, some residue of the cytoplasm can be left out after the multiple fission. अब बाइनरी फिजन का क्या एग्जाम्पल होता है, दैट इज अमीबा व्हेन इट इज अंडरगोइंग फेवरेबल कंडीशंस, बैक्टीरिया एंड पैरामीशियम. अब ये एग्जाम्पल्स को याद करने के लिए यू कैन रिमेंबर एज ABP न्यूज. ABP न्यूज किसके एग्जाम्पल्स है, बाइनरी फिजन. मल्टीपल फिजन के एग्जाम्पल्स आर अमीबा where it is going under unfavorable conditions, monocystis and plasmodium. इसके लिए क्या आएगा, AMP, right? अब हम देखेंगे more about the types of binary fission. अब टाइप्स ऑफ बाइनरी फिजन किस बेसिस पे बनते हैं, ऑन द बेसिस हाउ द सेल साइटोप्लाज्म एंड द न्यूक्लियस आर डिवाइडिंग ऑन विच प्लेन. तो अगर they are dividing on basis of any plane, then it would be called as the simple, orthodox or regular type of binary fission. Now कोई भी प्लेन से अगर डिवाइड करना हो तो हाउ द ऑर्गेनिज्म शुड बी, इट शुड बी अ इर्रेगुलर शेप्ड ऑर्गेनिज्म. और इर्रेगुलर शेप्ड ऑर्गेनिज्म का क्लासिक एग्जांपल क्या होता है, अमीबा. अब लॉन्गिट्यूडनल है बाइनरी फिजन का नाम, तो डिवीजन कौन से प्लेन में होगा, लॉन्गिट्यूडनल प्लेन. अब लॉन्गिट्यूडनल प्लेन में है तो ये टाइप को सिमेट्रोजेनिक डिवीजन भी बोलते हैं. नाउ दिस लॉन्गिट्यूडनल टाइप ऑफ डिवीजन कैन बी सीन इन प्रोटोजोअन्स दैट आर वर्टिसेला एंड यूग्लिना, और एंथोजोन्स दैट कैन बी इंक्लूडेड इन कोरल्स. अब ऑब्लिक बाइनरी फिजन में द प्लेन इज गोइंग टू बी ऑब्लिक प्लेन अराउंड द ट्रांसवर्स एक्सिस, और एग्जांपल्स में आते हैं डाइनोफ्लैजिलेट्स, जिसमें आते हैं सिमेंडम एंड गोनोलैक्स. फाइनल टाइप ऑफ बाइनरी फिजन होता है दैट इज ट्रांसवर्स बाइनरी फिजन, जिसमें द डिवीजन प्लेन इज गोइंग टू बी ट्रांसवर्स टू द लॉन्गिट्यूडनल एक्सिस, and examples are going to be the protozoans such as paramecium, diatoms and bacteria, coelentrates, planaria and some annelids. Now you can understand कि ये planes कैसे दिखते हैं by understanding the diagrams here. Moving on with the next type of asexual reproduction, that is budding. Before speaking about budding, let's see the detailed study about transverse fission of paramecium. Now in paramecium you need to understand that there are going to be two nucleus, one that is the macronucleus and one is the micronucleus. अब macronucleus का division होगा by the amitotic phase and micronucleus का होगा by the mitotic division. After the division of nucleus, when the daughter cells are formed, they are going to be dissimilarly formed. Now dissimilar है तो how are you going to differentiate? The upper formed daughter cell is called as proter and the lower formed is going to be called as the opisthid. Right. अब ये जब dissimilar है, that means they would be lacking some organelles or they would be lacking some elements of their cell. But as these daughter cells are going to go through the growth phase, they will just develop their deficient organelles or the deficient components of their cell, और वो अपने parent cell जैसे within few time they will become as their parent cell. Now the case is about the multiple fission in the case of plasmodium. और plasmodium क्या याद आता है? It is going to be the malaria causing organism. Correct? So plasmodium is going to be a single celled structure, and the plasmodium when is undergoing multiple fission वो सबसे पहले अपने आसपास एक कवरिंग बनाएगा, and that covering along with the plasmodium would be called as the साइजोंट. अब साइजोंट के अंदर जो प्लाज्मोडियम है it is undergoing multiple fission, और multiple fission में जब जाएगा many daughter cells will be formed, and when these daughter cells overcrowd the covering तो वो कवरिंग फटने के चांसेस हो जाते हैं, एंड व्हेन दिस कवरिंग एक्चुअली बर्स्ट्स आउट रिलीजिंग ऑल द डॉटर सेल्स, तब जाके प्लाज्मोडियम इज गोइंग टू स्प्रेड आउट लाइक एनीथिंग. राइट. तो जब प्लाज्मोडियम इज गोइंग टू बर्स्ट, इट इज जनरली गोइंग टू बर्स्ट इन द होस्ट, और होस्ट कौन होता है? होस्ट इज गोइंग टू बी ह्यूमन, और जनरली ह्यूमन के लिवर सेल्स में और RBC they are going to burst, and when these malaria causing organisms burst at a larger phase, they are going to have the symptoms of malaria. थर्ड केस आता है about the multiple fission in अमीबा. अमीबा में मल्टीपल फिजन तभी होगा when it is undergoing unfavorable conditions. जब unfavorable conditions है तो it needs some protection. तो protection के लिए what it will do? It will first retract its pseudopodia. After the retraction of pseudopodia, it is going to secrete a 3-layered cyst formation होगा, and when the cyst is formed, it will undergo multiple fission because the amoeba doesn't know when the favorable conditions will arise. So instead of कि एक अमीबा मर जाए and the population vanishes, what it will do? It will create its multiple copies. Now multiple copies बनाने के लिए it has to undergo multiple fission. Multiple fission से उसके जैसे many organisms are formed, the overcrowding is going to lead to bursting of the cyst. Now when the amoeba is undergoing the withdrawal of the pseudopodia and secreting a 3-layered hard covering, this is going to be called as encystation. और जब वो overcrowding की वजह से when it is going to burst open, then it would be called as sporulation. तो ये केस था about amoeba under unfavorable conditions. अब हम देखेंगे about budding. अब budding is a phenomenon wherein there would be protrudence. अब इसमें क्या होता है कि सेल डिविजन्स की वजह से there would be unequal cytoplasmic divisions and it would be the formation of one outgrowth that is called as the bud. अब इसमें फिजन से क्या अलग है? फिजन में होता है इक्वल साइटोप्लाज्मिक डिवीजन, और parent cell, once the division occurs, the parent cell is going to vanish. But budding में ऐसा नहीं है. budding में the parent cell is still going to exist even after the young one is grown with budding. अब types of budding में दो आते हैं, that is exogenous budding, also called as external budding, and the endogenous budding, the internal budding. अब exogenous budding में क्या होता है? The parent body is going to form a outgrowth, and this outgrowth can be seen on the outer surface of the parent. Now when this bud is going to detach from the parent body, तो ये कंडीशन दिखती है इन द केस ऑफ हाइड्रा। अगर by any chance the bud that is formed completely grows into individual organism but still does not detach from the parent body, तो वो क्या बनाएगा, कॉलोनी बनाएगा। and this colony formation can be seen in obelia. okay, you can see in the figure 1 कि हाइड्रा का जो outgrowth है, the bud is going to detach from the parent body, whereas in the case of obelia colony in the figure 2 there would be a colony formation जिसमें the new generation is also attached to the parental generation. but ये दोनों case, that is the detachment of the bud और the attachment to the parent body, दोनों case हो सकता है in the case of budding in yeast, that can be seen in figure 3. अब वो बर्ड के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है whether it separates itself or it can form a colony, या दोनों भी हो सकता है in the case of yeast. अब एंडोजिनस बडिंग जो होता है, दैट इज द इंटरनल बडिंग, उसमें क्या होगा, जो बड बनेगा दैट वुड बी ऑन द इनसाइड ऑफ द पेरेंट बॉडी. अब इनसाइड है तो दैट वुड बी कॉल्ड अ स्पेशल नेम, दैट इज जेम्यूल्स, और जेम्यूल्स आर नथिंग बट द इंटरनल बड्स. अब इंटरनल बड्स में क्या होता है, there are going to be cells which are going to be encapsulated, उनको एक कवरिंग के अंदर बंद रखा जाएगा so that it is protected inside the parent body. अब ये कंडीशन कौन से ऑर्गेनिजम्स में होते हैं, इट कैन बी सीन इन फ्रेश वाटर स्पॉन्जेस एंड सम मरीन स्पॉन्जेस. फ्रेश वाटर स्पॉन्ज का एक एग्जांपल होता है स्पॉन्जिया एंड मरीन का होता है साइकॉन. अब जेम्यूल फॉर्मेशन कैसे होता है, जेम्यूल फॉर्मेशन यानी द इंटरनल बड. अब ये होता है मेजरली अंडर द अनफेवरेबल कंडीशंस. अब अनफेवरेबल कंडीशंस है, पेरेंट बॉडी इज गोइंग टू रिलीज अ मास ऑफ सेल्स, और ये सेल्स आर नथिंग बट द आर्कियोसाइट्स. और आर्कियोसाइट्स के पास एक बहुत अच्छी प्रॉपर्टी है दैट इट कैन मेक डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ सेल्स to complete the body, and this property is called as totipotency. अब ये आर्कियोसाइट्स एक कवरिंग के अंदर बंद हो जाएंगे and along with these covering it would be called as the gemule. correct. अब gemule parent body के अंदर रहेगा until the unfavorable conditions, and as soon as the favorable conditions return ये gemmules germinate हो जाएंगे. archaeocytes अलग अलग टाइप के cells बना के they would complete the entire body of the organism. correct. so you can see the different types of gemmules, the gemmule formation and the types of gemmule in figure 4 and 5. Now we will move on to the next type of asexual reproduction जिसका नाम है sporulation. अब sporulation generally funguses, simple plants like algae में ज़्यादा दिखता है, right. sporulation के दो types होते हैं, that is their products that can be either zoospores or conidia. अब zoospores, zoo का meaning generally refers to animals and animals have a property of motion. तो zoospores के पास motile होता है, they are motile structures because of presence of flagella. अब ये zoospores जो होते हैं they are going to be formed inside the zoosporangia, and when they are formed inside their origin is said to be endogenous. अब zoospores को पढ़ने के लिए we generally use Chlamydomonas which is having a zoospore that is a pyramid shaped. Anteriorly it has a flagella, and this is going to, the figure is going to show the Chlamydomonas zoospores. अब zoospores formation जब होगा, the spongia, that is the zoospongia is going to undergo division to form 4 or 8 daughter protoplasts. Protoplast is the cell without the cell membrane. और जब ये बन जाएगा they are going to release the zoospores and these zoospores will germinate to start a new individual life. Conidia के केस में क्या different है? Conidia are going to be non-motile and they are going to be formed where? On the hyphal branches, और hyphal branches का नाम होता है conidiophores. अब ये कोनिडिया जनरली होते हैं असेक्सुअल स्पोर्स फॉर फंगाई, तो फंगाई में कोनिडिया सबसे ज़्यादा दिखते हैं. तो वन ऑफ द क्लासिक एग्जांपल्स कैन बी पेनिसिलम, और पेनिसिलम का जो कोनिडियोफोर होता है, कोनिडियोफोर अंडरगोज अ लॉट ऑफ ब्रांचिंग दैट इज गोइंग टू लीड टू फॉर्मेशन ऑफ अ फ्लास्क शेप स्ट्रक्चर, और ये फ्लास्क शेप स्ट्रक्चर को क्या बोलते हैं? स्टेरिगमेटा. नाउ इन द फिगर यू कैन सी that this region is going to be the sterigmata. Okay, अब स्टेरिगमेटा से ओरिजिनेट होंगे द कोनिडियोफोर्स, और कोनिडियोफोर्स के ऊपर आएंगे कोनिडिया. करेक्ट. अब दोनों का डिफरेंस शॉर्ट में आई हैव रिटन इट इन दिस कंपैरिजन टेबल, एंड दिस टेबल कैन बी यूज्ड फॉर क्विक रिविजन्स. Now we will see about regeneration. Regeneration के दो basis हो सकते हैं, that can be called as epimorphosis और the morpholepsis. Epimorphosis में क्या होता है कि organisms have a tendency to renew and restore the lost body parts. जैसे अगर lizard की tail अगर कट जाती है in some accident or because of some incidents, तो the tail can regrow. And when the regeneration occurs, क्या होता है? Bone formation नहीं होता है in the tail. It would be just the cartilage, but still the lizard would have the tail. अब morpholepsis में क्या होता है? जब organism की body is going to get cut into small fragments, so each fragment is going to develop into a new organism, और ये condition can be seen in hydra and starfish. अब फ्रैगमेंटेशन होता है द फिफ्थ टाइप ऑफ असेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन. फ्रैगमेंटेशन में होता है कि व्हेन द बॉडी ऑफ द ऑर्गेनिज्म इज गोइंग टू नेचुरली और आर्टिफिशियली बीन स्प्लिट into large fragments, so each fragment is going to undergo mitosis to complete the entire body of the individual. अब ये फ्रैगमेंटेशन के लिए यू हैव एग्जांपल्स ऑफ स्पाइरोगायरा, और स्पाइरोगायरा इज द ग्रीन algae which can be seen easily grown in any sort of stagnant water. They are thread like structures, the green thread like structures जो stagnant water में मिलते हैं. That can be also seen in fungi and hydra. Now we will see about the vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation में the somatic part of the plant, that is the vegetative propagule, is going to detach from the parent body, and when it detaches it is going to form a new independent plant. But ये new independent plant बनाने के लिए the very important factor is suitable environmental conditions. अगर environmental conditions favorable नहीं है, then the detached part is going to die, leading no new development of plant. वेजिटेटिव प्रोपोगेशन के दो टाइप्स होते हैं एज पर द नेचुरल और द आर्टिफिशियल. नेचुरल में कौन से पार्ट्स यूज होते हैं? दे कैन बी रूट, स्टेम्स एंड लीव्स. ओके, रूट्स, लीव्स एंड स्टेम. अब स्टेम के अंदर अंडरग्राउंड हो सकता है, दैट इज ट्यूबर, राइजोम और बल्ब. सब एरियल इंक्लूडिंग ऑफसेट्स, सकर्स एंड रनर्स. एरियल स्टेम्स यूज हो सकते हैं इन इवन द bulbils. आर्टिफिशियल प्रोपोगेशन जो होता है, इट इज जनरली यूज इन द केस ऑफ गार्डनिंग. ओके, जब आपको लार्ज नंबर में यू नीड प्लांट्स इन लेस टाइम, देन यू आर गोइंग टू यूज लेयरिंग. और लेयरिंग में क्या होता है? यू आर गोइंग टू twist the branches, the soft branches of the plant, and you are going to sow it inside the soil. और जब आप sow करोगे, it is going to develop root and shoot when it is going to be sown inside along with the attachment to the parent body. अब जब ये होगा तो you detach it from the parent body and you will generate new plants. Grafting में क्या होता है? Grafting में you will be using two different plants जिसका the shoot system would be the scion and the root system would be used of the स्टॉक. अब दोनों के कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स को कंबाइन करने के लिए यू वुड बी यूजिंग ग्राफ्टिंग. और ग्राफ्टिंग जनरली यूज होता है फॉर द रोज प्लांट कल्टीवेशन. Tissue culture is going to be the modern technique of artificial propagation, wherein you are going to take a small tissue fragment from the parent body. उसको artificially laboratory में inside the agar-agar medium you are going to grow this tissue, and as the cells of plants have a greater capacity of totipotency, that is to generate the whole organism from one सेल और द टिश्यू. तो ये कैरेक्टरिस्टिक को यूज करके इनसाइड द एक्स सिचु कंडीशंस यू आर गोइंग टू फॉर्म द प्लांट्स. अब हमें जनरली देखना है मेन अबाउट द नेचुरल वेजिटेटिव प्रोपोगेशन. नेचुरल मेथड्स में फर्स्ट वी विल सी अबाउट रूट्स. अब रूट्स में क्या होता है? जनरली द बड्स विच आर और द नोड्स होते हैं दे आर फॉर्म्ड ऑन द stem, but some plants also have buds on their roots. अब जब ये buds area जो है when it is going to be sown in the soil, then it is going to lead to formation of new plants. तो ये कौन से plants है जिनमें roots के ऊपर buds मिलते हैं? One example can be dahlia, right? फिर आता है leaves. और लीव्स में क्या होता है? देर आर गोइंग टू बी एडवेंटिशियस बड्स that are growing on the leaves. A best example to see this type of leaves propagating can be bryophyllum. Bryophyllum के leaves के margins पे as you can see in the figure there would be new leaf plantlets growing on the notches of the margins of the leaves. अब ये margins पे new leaves grow होंगे and when this bigger leaf sown with the smaller leaves inside the soil is going to lead to formation of new plant. अब ब्रायोफाइलम अकेला एग्जाम्पल नहीं है, और एग्जाम्पल्स हो सकते हैं एज द एडियंटम ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज द वॉकिंग फर्न, बेगोनिया एंड द कैलाकोचे, राइट. नेक्स्ट आता है द स्टेम. स्टेम के अंदर फर्स्ट वी विल सी अबाउट द अंडरग्राउंड स्टेम. अंडरग्राउंड स्टेम में ट्यूबर होता है, राइजोम एंड द बल्ब. अब you don't have to remember the complete definition for MCQ points, you just have to remember the key points so that you can understand what they are speaking about. तो ट्यूबर के लिए identification points होते हैं the terminal portion of underground stem and it is going to be swollen. अब swollen क्यों है? Because of accumulation of food. ट्यूबर के ऊपर you will be having some buds at their nodes. अब ये स्टेम है तो नोड्स होंगे और नोड्स के ऊपर होते हैं बड्स, एंड व्हेन दिस एरिया विद द नोड्स अलोंग विद द बड्स इज सोन इन द सॉइल इट इज गोइंग टू डेवलप न्यू प्लांट्स. तो ट्यूबर के लिए बेस्ट एग्जांपल होता है पोटैटो. राइजोम को की पॉइंट्स होते हैं अंडरग्राउंड पेरिनियल स्टेम. राइजोम वापस वैसे ही होगा इफ द बड इज प्रेजेंट, then this area with the bud अगर soil में sow करोगे तो new plant is going to grow. Example would be banana and ginger. अब bulb के केस में you have to remember the key point that is unbranched reduced disc shaped stem. अब disc shaped stem can be seen in the case of onion and garlic. Now you can see in the figure adjacent कि onion के केस में the small little portion, the white portion is going to be the reduced stem, but जो पर्पल कलर का जो ऑनियन होता है it is not going to be the stem, it is the fleshy leaves. तो stem कितना है? जो stem है that is completely reduced as the disc shaped stem. ओके और ये डिस्क शेप स्टेम के आसपास होंगे टर्मिनल बड्स एंड व्हेन यू सो दीज इनटू द सॉइल दैट वुड बी गिविंग यू न्यू ऑनियन और गार्लिक प्लांट्स. अब सब एरियल स्टेम्स के अंदर वी हैव offsets, suckers and runners. Offsets के लिए key points याद रखने हैं, that is it is going to be short horizontal along with cluster of leaves on the top along with tuft of roots below. और ये सब कौन से प्लांट्स में मिलते हैं? इन द एक्वेटिक प्लांट्स. इसके लिए एग्जांपल्स होते हैं आइकॉर्निया, ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज वाटर हायसिंथ, पिस्टिया वाटर लेक्टस. Eichhornia is going to be a very important plant for our study in this chapter, so I would be discussing about in Eichhornia in the next slide. अब हम देखते हैं अबाउट सकर. सकर के लिए याद रखना है, इट इज गोइंग टू अराइज फ्रॉम द एक्सिलरी बड. अब एक्सिलरी बड व्हेन इट इज गोइंग टू ग्रो इट विल फॉर्म द लैटरल ब्रांच, और लैटरल ब्रांच इज गोइंग टू क्रीप बिलो द soil, and when it is creeping below the soil, one point it will come obliquely upwards, and whenever it comes obliquely upwards from the soil वो बनाएगा नया shoot system, and once the new shoot system is formed you can detach it from the parent body and new plants can be formed. अब ये टेक्निक यूज होती है in the chrysanthemum plants, pineapples and bananas. रनर के केस में की पॉइंट टू आइडेंटिफाई इज लॉन्ग इंटरनोड्स एंड रूट्स एट नोड्स, एंड दिस कैन बी सीन इन द केस ऑफ ग्रासेस. अब हम देखेंगे द डिटेल्ड स्टडी अबाउट वाटर हायसिंथ, दैट इज आइकॉर्निया. वाटर हायसिंथ की स्टोरी ऐसी है, इट वाज नॉट ओरिजिनली फाउंड इन इंडिया, इट वाज ब्रॉट इनटू इंडिया, दैट वाज अ स्टेट दैट इज बंगाल. बंगाल में ब्रिटिशर्स के एरा में वाटर हायसिंथ वाज ब्रॉट अप, and why it was? Because it had beautiful flowers and the shape of leaves fascinated people who brought them to India. But when they brought, they did not know that it was an invasive aquatic weed. Aquatic weed tha, that was people did not want this to grow in their waters. And generally water hyacinth standing water में, stagnant water में grow होता है. And once it starts growing, it is going to take all the oxygen from the water, and once the oxygen is over in the water that will lead to the death of fishes and other aquatic animals. अब जब सारे fishes बंगाल के मरने लगे because of this water hyacinth, तो water hyacinth को नाम दे दिया terror of Bengal. अब ये टेरर क्यों बन गया? बिकॉज इट वॉज नॉट हैविंग एनी प्रीडेटर. अगर प्रीडेटर उसको मार देने वाला अगर कंडीशन होता तो वो इतना ग्रो नहीं हो पाता. बट वंस इट वॉज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड देयर वॉज नो प्रीडेटर, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ एब्सेंस ऑफ प्रीडेटर एंड हैविंग अ प्रोपोगेशन टाइप बाय ऑफसेट्स, और ऑफसेट से प्रोपोगेशन होना इज वेरी इजी एंड अ फास्टर मेथड. And when it started growing at a larger state और उसका death rate कम था, it completely covered all the water bodies in no time. And once it covered all the water bodies, you can see in the figure कि वो पूरा water body cover कर दिया, that you cannot even imagine कि नीचे पानी है या नहीं है. Right? In that dense conditions, the water hyacinth grows, and this can cause ultimate death to the aquatic animals. This was about the water hyacinth. Now let's move on with the aerial shoots. अब aerial shoots के ऊपर you have to remember that the stem segment is at least going to have one node that can form a new plant, and this can be seen in sugarcane and opensia. Bulbils के केस में क्या होता है? Bulbils में there would be large fleshy buds, and these large fleshy buds once fall out of the plant body and then it will reach the soil to have a new plant grown. Now large fleshy buds can be seen in agave plant, that is going to be the modified floral buds, and when these modified floral buds are the fleshy in structure, they will be called as bulbils. This can also be seen in the case of oxalis, ananas, dioscorea and lily. So this was the end of the natural type of propagation. I have told you about the artificial type of propagation, that was layering, grafting, and tissue culture. So this brings us to the end of the asexual reproduction discussion. Sexual part of the chapter will be covered in the next video. Till I come back with one more amazing session continuing with this chapter, please do like, share and subscribe, and do hit the bell icon so that we can meet again in the next video. Till then, waving a goodbye to everyone. Be happy, be safe, keep smiling. Thank you.